This struggle to live in real truth has been ongoing all through history. The accounts of God's people practicing true worship, then falling into false worship, then repenting and returning to true worship are repeated throughout the Bible. Revelation describes false worship as Babylon, given this term since the historical Babylonian Empire exemplified false worship. Because the three angels' messages are intended for today, the conclusion is that the first angel's message is a call for people everywhere to turn away from man-made traditions that have become mixed into biblical Christianity over the past 2,000 years. Just as he has throughout history, today God is calling his people to come back to him. He wants his people to shake the barnacles off, so to speak, and return to a more pure, more primitive form of Christianity that is based exclusively in biblical fact. The three angels' messages symbolize a process that brings about the outpouring of God's Holy Spirit. This will be a powerful, world-altering event that has not occurred since Pentecost. For that reason, this extraordinary time can justifiably be called Pentecost II, or the time of the latter rain. These three angels' messages are clear evidence that God is raising up and preparing a people to participate in this supernatural event, just as he did in the first Pentecost. These angels announce that this awakening of God's people from all nations, languages, and ethnic groups is on the horizon. This remnant group of biblical Christians, backed by God's Spirit, will form a united front to proclaim the everlasting gospel to every person on earth. The first Pentecost in Jerusalem began the work of proclaiming the gospel to the world. The second Pentecost will be earth-wide and will finish the Great Commission. Once this modern-day Pentecost is completed, all people on earth will have heard the gospel message. The account of the three angels is found in Revelation 14. In this prophecy, the Apostle John was given a vision of our time. He saw three angels with a final warning that was to be given in the last days. Here is the first angel's message.
Then I saw another angel flying in midair, and he had the eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, tribe, language, and people. He said in a loud voice, "Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. Worship him who made the heavens, the earth, the sea, and the springs of water."
In this message, the angel makes three specific points. First, God's rescue plan for humanity must be shared with every person alive. Second, the angel calls on those who will to fear God and give honor to him. The third point is a call for those people who choose God to come out of non-scriptural worship practices. The second angel picks up where the first angel leaves off. This angel announces that the everlasting gospel will be well known to the world, causing the false belief system referred to as Babylon to fall.
Fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all the nations drink the maddening wine of her adulteries.
The reason for this eventual collapse of this false system will be the worldwide knowledge of God's truth that is being proclaimed. The false teachings prevalent in much of Christianity will soon crumble once the work of sharing God's plan of salvation to all people is complete. Many are coming out of the Babylonian false belief system and accepting God's truth and mercy. Unfortunately, Revelation 13 reveals that the global government will unite with those who are willingly stubborn to the truth and remain in false worship. This government will enforce unbiblical religious doctrines on the world population by controlling the international banking system. All people will soon be exposed to the truth of the everlasting gospel. Some will choose to accept God's offer of salvation, but others, having a full knowledge of the consequences, will choose to turn their backs on God forever. Many will allow their fear of the government to outweigh their trust in God's ability to save them. Once this comes to pass, the question of their allegiance will be settled.
If anyone worships the beast and his image and receives his mark on the forehead or on the hand, he too will drink of the wine of God's fury, which has been poured full strength into the cup of his wrath.
All people will be given the same choice that Adam and Eve had. The question is, will they be loyal to the God of creation, or will they be loyal to the corrupted earthly system that is controlled by the very same angel who deceived Adam and Eve in Eden? Later in this program, we will explore the global government spoken of in Revelation 13 a bit deeper.
Here is the patience of the saints. Here are those that keep the commandments